Hello and welcome to today's FIA Formula 3 press conference following the opening race here at Spa. We are joined by the top three finishers from race 1, your race winner, Pedro Piquet from Trident, in second place, Robert Schwartzman from Prema Racing, and in third place, Jehan Daruvala from Prema Racing. Pedro, your first win of the FIA Formula 3 season, how does it feel to get this under your belt finally?
Really good. Since the beginning of the weekend, we had the speed, so I knew I had the car to fight for the win. And it was just, getting a clean start, not getting involved in any crash. And I knew after that I could be competitive. And in the beginning, I could open a big gap. And in the end, was just manage the tires because it was, here in this track especially, it's quite hard on them.
Could you talk us through that start and the move on Jehan that you got going up the hill, and then how you built that gap up to pull away?
Yeah, so my jump was pretty good, but I was not in front of him to overtake. So, and then going up a Rouge, I think the first lap the cars are a bit heavy and they're quite low. So he bottomed a lot and lost quite a bit of speed. So I think after Rouge, I was already almost passing him and got the move done. And after that, some guys were fighting behind me because every lap I would see a different colored car. So for me, in the end, was good because I could make that gap. And yeah, to the end was just not abuse on the tires a lot. And I tried to keep also a gap to Robert.
Congratulations on your win. Robert, moving on to you now, back on the podium after a really good charge through the field, a number of exciting battles. Could you talk us through those and the moves you're able to pull?
Well, yeah, the start generally was quite good. I tried to get past Tsunoda straight away, but he was squeezing me out. It was a bit of a dangerous situation, so I decided that I should not risk first lap. So I backed off. I was in P4 coming to, with the name of the turn 5 coming, Lecom. And yeah, I was defending there. There was side by side Leo Pulcini. We were side by side for a whole section, and then at the exit he squeezed me out a little bit. I bottomed out on the curb, and I had to back off as well. So yeah, I was 5th. My target was just to stay calm and to save the tires because I knew in this track you can overtake. And plus, we have quite a good speed, so I was just taking it easy. Guys in front were fighting. I was just, first 3 laps was not pushing because I knew it was pointless because there was already a group of 3 people in front. To be the 4th one was quite pointless. And then as soon as they had a little gap between each other, that's where I started to catch them. Then I got past Tsunoda, Pulcini, and then I called Jehan. I thought because he had quite good pace at that time that we can go together with DRS and try to catch Pedro. So I got past him, and then my target was just to go as quicker as possible. And after a few laps, I saw Jehan was struggling a little bit with the tires, so I knew that I need to just push on my own. And basically, the last 7 laps, I was doing my best to catch Pedro. Anyways, we catched a little bit, but definitely was not enough. Because the gap was generally big, but I'm happy because the race was good. I mean, we collected good points. The pace is good because even though I had a lot of fighting, we managed to keep good pace until the end. So yeah, I'm happy thanks to the team because they did a good step, good improvement.
Collected good points, as you said, extending your championship lead as well. We've got 5 races to go now. How important is this podium going into the final stretch?
It's really important because now every point counts. Because the championship is really tight, so I did a small gap, but tomorrow is another race, another target to collect some good points and to increase the gap every time. That's the target now.
Well done today. And Jehan, moving on to you now, starting on pole at Spa, it's always difficult, as such is an easy place to overtake, but how was your race? How was it trying to defend with all these cars behind?
Yeah, firstly on lap 1 with heavy fuel, I bottomed out a lot through a Rouge, so yeah, Pedro just basically flew by me before Lecom. And actually on the first lap, I felt pretty confident. I could stay pretty close to him, but then the virtual safety car came out in the last chicane. And somehow I lost a lot of time. I was following my delta, but he was like 3-4 seconds ahead. And I knew that with VSC, when it restarts, that the guys behind me are going to have DRS, so it was going to be quite tricky for me. And yeah, that's basically what happened. I basically allowed Leo to go by me. Hopefully, I could use the DRS to get him back. But yeah, it didn't really work out that way. But I worked my way back to second, but to be honest, I just wasn't fast enough to fight for the win. So I still got good points, and let's see what I can do tomorrow.
You said about letting Leo past you. Do you have to have maybe a bit of a different tactical approach when it comes to racing at Spa when you use DRS and when you try and make these passes?
Sometimes yes, but also he's quite on the aggressive side, and he gave me a big squeeze. So yeah, I didn't want to really risk too much with him because he's not in the title fight. So yeah, my main target was I knew I could get past him because the car was good yesterday, and yeah, at the end of the day, I wasn't fast enough to win.
Well done on the podium. Pedro, coming back to you now. We've seen a number of charges through the field today, a number of overtakes. You're starting P8 on the reverse grid, but I guess of all places to be starting P8, Spa's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I think for sure here in Monza is the tracks that you can make the most, starting from the back, and if you have a good car, you go to the front. So yeah, that's our target for tomorrow. Also try to finish as in front as possible.
We will now open up this press conference to questions from the floor. If you can please remember to state your name and publication for the transcript.
Nicolas Farmine for France Racing. A question to Pedro Piquet. What it feels like to win as a member of the Piquet family, and also with the helmet of your father, the same color?
In the end, for me, my whole life was like this, and I'm already used. I just work as hard as possible because to have the color of the helmet, it doesn't give you more speed or anything. You need to deliver yourself, So I work very hard to bring the results to me and to my team, and that's it. It's good to honor the name and to win here.
Next question.
Pedro, maybe you don't know that the family Piquet had 30 years ago here, sad moment, your father didn't qualify for the race with Lotus Chut. And today the family Piquet celebrates the win in Formula 3. Can you make a comment on these different moments of the family Piquet?
For sure, those were not the best years for my dad. He was much competitive with a better car years before. Unfortunately, F1 is like this. Sometimes you make a bad decision and you're not competitive anymore. But yeah, it's at least we have a good result today. It would be bad if I had a bad result.
Next question.
Rodrigo França, VIP Magazine. Question to Pedro. Pedro, in Monza will be 10 years without a Brazilian victory in Formula 1. We know that you are working very hard, Pietro Fittipaldi, Sergio Sette Câmara, a lot of drivers. How do you see the Brazilian future in motorsport and basically in Formula 1?
Well, it was better before, I would say. Before, 15 years ago, you could see a lot of drivers in F3, F3000, and today, because we don't have a Formula single-seater series in Brazil, people start to do touring cars when they go off go-karts. So in the end, you see it's one driver in F2 and two drivers in F3, and 50 drivers overall. So it's difficult, but at least me and Sergio, we can deliver some results, and Felipe is getting there.
Next question.
Peter Allen, Formula Scout. Question for Jehan. You said that you lacked the pace to go for the win. Do you think the early battles took the life out of your tyres, or was there something else holding you back today?
I don't really think the battles were the main problem. If I'm very honest, I was struggling on the brakes. A bit of instability and locking up. I couldn't really find a right bias. I was either locking fronts or rears, so, stuff happens. I just need to improve, look overnight, and see where I can get better tomorrow.
Any more questions?
This is Kunal from First Post for Jehan. Billion fans were cheering you after your pole position, and they're, of course, cheering your third place as well. Any special message for your fans back home?
Yeah, I think also a lot of my friends from home are watching me race. I know that. So, yeah, I just hope I did them proud and I can keep doing them proud in the coming races.
Next question.
Alex Popov, Match TV. It's for Robert. I just looked for the weather forecast for tomorrow, and then 10 a.m. it's 12 degrees and then rain. So you're coming from St. Petersburg, and there's two guys from hot countries. Do you have an advantage?
Well, I can't say I have an advantage just because where I was born, because it doesn't make sense. It depends how much practice you have done under these conditions. I think from the test we had in Barcelona, there was a part when it was wet and we were really competitive. I mean, our car was really good on the rain, so I'm confident. Even though tomorrow it might rain, it actually will be even more fun. So I know Spa is good for overtaking even on the dry, but on the wet it's even more of an advantage. So just tomorrow it's going to be same target, just to have a good pace. In some situation, stay calm and then just get as many cars as possible and get to the front, to the podium.
Pedro, would you like to see a wet race tomorrow morning?
Well, it also rains a lot in the Amazon, so no, I think it would be nice as well. It's a mix-up of the field, and for myself, Barcelona, we did the half a day or 1 day in the wet, and it was pretty good, so I wouldn't mind.
And Jan, some wet running?
Yeah, I think I would like it as well. Like Robert said, the car was very good in Barcelona on the test, and yeah, I'm pretty confident if it's wet or dry, I can still be back on the podium tomorrow.
Next question. Oh, Robert?
To mention that in India it's also rained quite a lot from what I heard from Jehan from stories, like every day probably. So yeah, everywhere it rains, but it's just the target is to get the perfect setup, perfect condition, and just do your job.
Next question.
Nicolas Farmine for France Racing. A question to Robert. You still have a decent advance in the championship, considering the points. And what is currently your state of mind? And do you think, are you convinced that you are capable of winning the FIA F3 World Championship?
Well, we have like quite not a big advantage on the points at the moment, in my opinion. I'm not thinking to that point, will I be the champion or not. It's my target, every race we can get as much as points as possible. And then basically when we come to the final stage, we just look and we see where we end up. So first it takes out the pressure from you, because you don't need to think about all these things that you should not think about, the points and where should I be. My target, it was always just to get as many points as possible. If I have a chance to overtake, I will do my best to overtake and to win. That's the target. So that state of mind will continue until the end. So.
Jan, you're now up to second in the championship. How are you approaching the title fight?
Yeah, similar to what Robert said, but yeah, I mean, you can't just be thinking about the title all the time. Yeah, I try to win the race, obviously, but not take any stupid risks. But yeah, I'll think more about the title if I'm in it coming to Sochi. But the target for this and the next races is to, yeah, get as many points as possible, but not take stupid risks, but not just be thinking about the title while going around the track.
Any further questions?
Questions to all drivers. We still have 3 rounds to the end of the season, Monza, Russia, and Abu Dhabi. And all of you are prepared to face Formula 2 next year. Is it in your plans to jump to Formula 2 next year?
Pedro, do you want to start with that?
Yeah, if I have the opportunity, yes. I think I have enough experience with the tire, but it's all about finding the right opportunity, you know.
And Robert, thoughts about F2 for next year?
Well, I didn't really think about where I'll be next year. As I said, now the target is to deliver maximum result as possible in Formula 3. And then I think with the people who are supporting me, we will decide. But for sure, F2, it's a really good series, and it's a next step. So I think it's possible for me to go there. So I would be really happy to join F2 family. And yeah, we see how it goes. But first, as I said, we need to finish this year, and then we think about next year.
And Jan, I'm sure a similar thought process for you.
Yeah, I think yeah, most likely I will move to F2, but yeah, my job is to just focus on the rest of the season and let my dad and my management figure out where I'm going next year.
Any more questions? Nope, that's it. Okay, thank you guys. Good luck in tomorrow's race.